Thanks, Kelly. I do. By pest, we don't mean your brother or your sister. We mean bugs. I'm here with Heath Bass from Arrow Exterminators. Good morning to you. So I learned that pests are a big problem during the holidays. No idea. How common is this problem?
It's very common. This time of the year, they're trying to find a place to nest or, stay warm, with the cold weather that we're having. And so, I mean, it's the boxes that people have. Don't be surprised to find some, things in there if they don't have, a pest control company doing their service. They could have, unwanted guests.
And what are the most common types? I know mice are probably a big one, but what are other common types of bugs?
Common, it would, your roaches, even some ants, and then, but your rodents from your mice to the rats, but even further than that, squirrels, raccoons in your attic. They can get up there and make home in your insulation, can, be in your boxes or chew on your wires and stuff like that. That's, we see a lot of that.
And the holidays are coming up, and a lot of these pests do get in your home during the holidays. How do they do that?
Well, typically, for instance, like a squirrel or a mouse or something, they can run along the gutters if it's not been sealed off properly. If it's not been flashing, they can get up underneath the shingles, get into the roof line there, or at your AC area where there's the drip lines coming out. If it's not sealed properly, that's easy access. Or the door has a gap in it, and it's easy access for them to get there too.
And Heath Bass has a few tips for us this morning. If we can bring up the graphic really quick. You said to clean up spills immediately and store goodies in all airtight containers. Why is that?
Well, one thing is, and typically with my family, my little girl, that Christmas ornaments might be made of marshmallows, and that's a critter. They, anything from a roach or a mouse loves, a sweet. So what typically happens, if you can put them in a container that
it's like a big airtight container is what he's gonna, if you want to put it in the picture really quick. It looks like this. It looks like a cupcake tin, practically.
And just something to seal up all your ornaments and all that, or your wires. Same goes for like your wires or your stockings, whatever. You want to put those in something, seal it, tape it up, preferably plastic because it's a lot harder versus a box, because a lot of times rats can chew through that.
And you were also saying to inspect Christmas trees and your wreaths and everything, because sometimes bugs can hide in that.
Yes, when you go to, typically if you're buying a fresh Christmas tree, you definitely want to have it checked out. Shake it, to make sure, because there could be spiders in there, could be a rodent that's in there, and just periodically check it as as you're putting water in the thing to keep it alive. Make sure you're watching it, because he could be sitting there watching you. You don't know it, like the shelf on the elf on the shelf. And so.
Well, we'll be right back with more from Heath Bass, and we'll have plenty more tips for you. But right now, we're going to go over to Chris for a check of our weather. Chris?
This holiday season, Sasha?
Thanks, Doug. I am back here with Heath Bass from Arrow Exterminators. We were just talking about tips to keep your home pest-free. I don't know if many of you knew, but a lot of pests come during your home in the holidays. And Heath was just telling me, even a hole this small, a rat can come through. How is that possible?
It's the old saying is, if he can get his head through, the rest of his body will go straight through. And I was going to just show a little example here of, like that's the size for a rat that can go through.
Half-inch hole.
And then a quarter-inch hole is a mouse that can get through.
Wow. And a lot of people, you were saying, a lot of people think the hole has to be as big as the rat, and it doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't have to be. It's that's a, it makes it easier access for him. But no, that size, a quarter-inch, and then half-inch for a rat, like a roof rat or a Norway rat. So.
And also, you were saying that to seal those off would be a good idea as well. To seal that and probably seal your gutters.
Yes, seal what we call exclusion work, where you try to seal everything off. You're not going to get 100%. Closure, but you'll be amazed at the results that you can get. And like I say, we do offer that service where we come out and do a free evaluation to look at what needs to be sealed, because not only rodents from rats, you could have squirrels, raccoons, possums.
Yeah. And you also had some tips to vacuum and sweep very often, and also place screens over your vents if you haven't done so, especially during the holiday season. And if your pantry has bugs in it, to clean everything out. We were just talking about rice. And I've seen it before. I'm pretty sure many of you have seen it as well. Sometimes you have little bugs in your rice. Where does that come from?
That is just part of like some moths, or it's what we call, stored pest that, from certain weevils, beetles, moths. And if you can keep them contained in something, a plastic container, that if they do happen to hatch out, you've got them sealed. Just get rid of that product and everything. But, if anytime anybody ever has any questions, give your local, pest control company a call, and, find out, that, better safe than sorry.
And for those of you that have those little bugs in your rice, you were saying if you look inside your pantry and there's a little brown dot, that's probably what the bug is.
A lot of times what we typically see around here is the Indian meal moth, and you'll in a pantry you'll look around the corners and it looks like a little cocoon almost like type thing, but it's a little lightish brown, and that just lets you know that they have been there, and where they've hatched out and stuff, and they've made another little spot, and it's just typical. I mean, that's something that from your child cereal box to rice to beans, but it's just part of it. I mean, we don't want it to happen, but it does.
Well, we hope those tips did help you out this holiday season. If you want to seal up your gutters, it may help. But right now, Good Day is going to go to a break. Stay with us. We have much more coming up next.